Hello friends, welcome on my channel Jagdish Chaube. First of all, I must thank all of you for giving me a very good support for my channel. This particular video, it's part 4 of Metallurgical Quality Control Series 2, is on IZERD impact test, which is one of the very important tests being conducted in most of the metallurgical based industries, steel plants, heat treatment plants, etc. So let's move further. Before going into detail of this particular test, I am going slightly back. So this flashback is there. Earlier I have produced part 1 on Jominy hardenability test, part 2 erection cupping test, and part 3 is on Charpy impact test. All these parts are produced in both Hindi and English, and they have been very well appreciated. Okay. So if you have not seen these videos, then I request you to go through again on my channel and see these videos. They are also very important part for any steel industries, any metallurgical based industries, or any heat treatment plant. So if you have not seen, please see them again. Coverage. What I am going to cover in this video is purpose, test equipment, test procedures, precautions, problems and possible solutions, and the last slide is on application. Purpose. What is the purpose of doing this test? The purpose of doing this IZERD impact test is to determine the impact strength of the steel. If you want to determine the impact strength or toughness of the steel, then you have to carry out this particular test, IZERD impact test. So this is one purpose. The other purpose is it is done to evaluate the quality of heat treatment and is generally done to compare the impact strength or toughness of the steel. So this is one of the reasons why it is being done, is to determine the heat treatment quality, how the heat treatment was done. So it determines the quality of heat treatment, and you can compare various steel for their heat treatment quality, and you can determine this impact strength or toughness of the steel by doing this test. So this is the second purpose of doing this test. And the third purpose is this test also helps to measure the amount of energy absorbed by the specimen during fracture. When it fractures the piece, how much energy has been absorbed, this is being also determined by this particular IZERD impact test. These things I have also explained in my previous Charpy impact test, which is part 3. You can refer that also. Okay. So let's move further. So this is the equipment which is being used for this Charpy IZERD impact test. Almost same Charpy and impact. Main differences I'll just show you here only. One is this vertical positioning of the piece. In Charpy you are doing keeping it horizontal. The other one is angle. This angle. The load and this beam angle is 90 degree here. In case of Charpy it is 135 degrees. Okay. So these things are there. Apart from that, there are other changes also, but I will tell you in my coming slides. Then test sample. These test samples, both they are in square section as well as in round section also. For a square section, the dimension is mentioned here, 10 mm square dimension. Okay. And this is the positioning of the notch, and all the details are given here also. The notch 2 mm from top, it is 2 mm this line. Okay. And from bottom, if you see, it will be 8 mm. And this particular arrow is for the load which is striking this particular specimen. And it is almost, if I slightly increase it for your convenience also and for my also, it is 22 mm. Okay. So these things are there. Then there are samples which is also on the longer side. This particular is for 2 notch specimen. The chest sample length is minimum 100 mm. Positioning of these notches are opposite to each. This notch direction you see. This is this way and this is that way. They are opposite in direction. And rest everything is same, like this notch depth, this depth, everything is being same. loading application also remains same, okay, and section is already 10 mm square, so rest everything is same. Here I have shown how this piece is fashioned. This is generally, this is the vertical positioning of the piece, and this is the load which is being, when it strikes the load, it strikes here at this position, which is shown here as 22 millimeter, okay. From this notch it is here 22 millimeter where it strikes, okay. So I'll go further. Test samples with round section. This round section is there. In this case again, the length is same, 70, it is 75 mm. It was in Charpy, it was only 55. Notch positioning and everything is same as it was in Charpy also. The distance and everything is same. Square millimeter this, and the loading condition again here also it is shown here. Here is the striking point. And this is another sample which is a 2-notch sample. Opposite to each other these notches are there. But rest of the dimensions are same. You can go through it. The only thing is that the dimension is circular piece. The diameter of the piece is 11.4, and this positioning according to this is slightly different. It is here 8.1 and here it is 3.3. So in this case also same thing, 4.1 and 3.3, but this is different than your Eicher sample, Charpy sample, sorry. This is the diagram of this notch. The only thing you need to correct is this distance is 3.3 millimeter. Rest diameter, radius and everything remains same. Included angle remains same, 45 degree. Rest everything is same. So these are the various types of test pieces, round as well as square, for IR impact test. Procedure, test procedure. What are the various steps? But before I go in detail about the steps, this is the standard which you have to refer, 1598-1977. Okay, this you have to refer if you want to go in detail about this particular test. But I have just given in brief. The first step is basically machine verification. You have to verify the machine. How you do it? The same way you have done for Charpy impact test, wherein you have to bring these two pointers at 160. The scale is from 0 to 160 joules. So you have to bring them here, and then you have to bring the pendulum at 90 degree, and then you have to release. So after releasing without any test sample, if the pointer goes at 0 of IR impact scale, then it means that your machine is okay. Similar application is like in Charpy impact test, okay. Then the first step was this. Then second step, raise the pendulum at the latched position. This you have to, now you have to raise this to up to 90 degree, okay. Then you have, the third is fix the test piece notch facing pendulum movement. Pendulum movement accordingly you have to fix the notches, position the notch with the help of positioning gauge. You have to use a positioning gauge, and accordingly you have to position the notch. Okay, this is very important, and this is quite meaningful because you have to maintain this. Then the fourth one is release the load without any vibration and shock. Press the brakes after the pendulum has made a full swing. See, this releasing of the load is very important. The load has to be released very smoothly. There should not be any jerk or vibration. Okay, otherwise you will not get the proper result. Then after, when it breaks it, it comes to a particular point, similar to that what I have shown you earlier in Charpy. So read the energy absorbed directly from the scale or measuring device. If you are using some digital device, it can measure directly what is the energy absorbed, which is same as toughness of the steel. And if it is an analog one, then it will stop at a particular point, and you have to just measure that particular point and report it. Now, for doing an impact test for any steel in any condition, you have to do at least 3 samples, not 1 sample, and then you have to average out. Then you can give better, just to give a perfect result. Otherwise, variations will be occur, and in this case, you have to average out and then report the final value. Variables affecting, see these variables affecting impact resistance is almost same as what I have earlier reported in part 3 of Charpe impact test. So I need not read it also, you can read it, and if you want to understand, you can go through my previous part, that is part 3 on Charpe, wherein I have explained these things separately. So without wasting your time, I move to further slide. Precautions. What are the precautions to be taken? Almost similar precautions, but let me tell you about the precaution. Test sample must be prepared as per specified dimension, particularly notches, very important. Then test sample must be placed in the fixture at correct position, particularly notch direction. This you have to ensure that direction of the notch is same. It should not be opposite to the same as horizontal piece. You have to keep the piece vertically up in the fixture. Okay. Verify the accuracy of machine prior to any test. I have just told you in the step 1. Okay. Then calibration of the machine, which includes weight, angle of lift, functioning of brakes, falling velocity of pendulum, must be done yearly. This I have mentioned about this Indian standard on calibration of this impact testing machine. It says IS 3766 1977. So please refer this standard for calibration, and you must do calibration of your testing machine at least once in a year, wherein this angle of lift, functioning of brakes, falling velocity, all these things are calibrated properly as per standard requirement. And the last precaution that you have to take is provide necessary safeguard arrangement to avoid any accident after breakage of the test piece. This is, you have to take precaution, because when the piece breaks, it breaks into 2 parts and maybe it can hurt you also. So just to avoid this, you have to put some safeguard, some kind of arrangement, so that you are safe for doing this test. Problems and their possible solutions. First of all, variation in test piece impact values. Why these variations are coming? Because of what reason? Release the pendulum without shock, and this is one of the reasons. So you have to take care. The solution is this. Then faulty heat treatment, this also, because faulty heat treatment is there, you will get variable impact value. So this also you have to ensure. Then check notch geometry and location. This also is very important. Okay. So notch location and the geometry is also important. Then test piece falling before strike. Sometimes you release the load and test piece falls before that without striking. So then you have to repeat the test. Sometimes I have seen when you release this, the piece breaks, but it is not in 2 parts. It remains in the fixture. So if this is happening, then you have to again repeat the test. Okay. And for this, the solution is that you have to rigidly fix the test piece in the fixture. This is a must requirement. And positioning gauge for the proper location of the notch, so that the hammer strikes at a right position. Okay. So this positioning gauge has to be used for fixing the test piece in fixture. Application. This test is used to determine the notch strength of plastic as well as metal. Okay. This test helps in assessing the energy absorbed, energy required to fracture a part. Yes, it is there, because when it fractures it will absorb the energy. So by this test you can know the energy absorbed, and energy absorbed is nothing but toughness of the steel. So you can know it also. And the third one is used by the scientists to determine ductile brittle transition. These scientists are using for this particularly heat treatment quality when the material breaks, whether it breaks in brittle manner or it breaks in ductile manner. So scientists are using this particular test to determine ductile brittle behavior of a metal. The last one is, it is used to determine whether the material is tough or brittle. This just now I explained it. So if you want to know whether the material is tough or brittle, or whether heat treatment quality is giving the desired property, then you have to carry out this test, and this is the application of this particular test. Okay. So this I have explained you about all about this IJAD impact test. Now briefly I will tell you some details about the differences between this CHARPY as well as IJAD impact test. The first difference is your placement. In this case the test piece is placed horizontal, in other case it is vertical. Angle of pendulum, it is 135 degree. In case of IJAD it is 90 degree. Notch faces, it faces opposite in case of Eicher, in case of CHARPY, and notch in case of IJAD impact test it is along the same direction. Okay. Then sample length, in this case it is small length 50 millimeter, whereas in this case 75 millimeter. And again in this case you can, in case of IJAD, you can have two notch samples also with 100 millimeter minimum length. So this is the difference between CHARPY as well as IJAD. And the other thing is checking for metal. Generally CHARPY is done for metal, whereas in this case it is done both for plastic as well as for metal for IJAD impact test. So these are the main differences between CHARPY and IJAD impact test, and accordingly you can determine it. So now I have to close this. So thank you very much for listening and having your patience to listen this. Now I'll just request you to, if you have liked this, then please like it, share it. If you are new on my channel, subscribe it, and you can give your comments also so that I can improve my further videos. So that is also required. So be frank and give suggestions. Okay. The next video which is going is on part 5, inclusion rating of steel. I think up to part 4 I have explained basically mechanical part of this testing. Now it is the metallurgy, in the sense that it is raw material, inclusion rating of steel, austenitic grain size of steel, all these are raw material properties. So the next part will be on inclusion rating of steel. Till then, you wait, and hoping from a great response from all of you. Thank you very much.